#1 cable news show for 16 years and counting.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Chris Wallace in for Bill O'Reilly. And in the Factor follow-up segment tonight, President Trump says one of his top priorities is to repeal and replace Obamacare. Today, he pressed the point.
We also inherited a failed health care law that threatens our medical system with absolute and total catastrophe. Now, I've been watching, and nobody says it, but Obamacare doesn't work, folks. I could say, I could talk. It doesn't work. And now people are starting to develop a little warm heart. But the people that you're watching, they're not you. They're largely, many of them are the side that lost. You know, they lost the election.
But a new poll shows the Affordable Care Act may be gaining in popularity. A survey from the Pew Research Center found 54% of Americans now approve of the Affordable Care Act. That's the highest level ever recorded by Pew. 43% disapprove. Meanwhile, worries that Obamacare may be repealed have ignited protests at town halls recently as constituents confront their members of Congress.
I could tell you 3 members of my family, including me, that would be dead, and homeless if it was not for ACA.
Joining us now from Washington, Dr. Ezekiel Emanuel, one of the architects of the Affordable Care Act and a Fox News contributor. Doctor, I want to put up a couple of statistics about Obamacare, and here they are. In 2016, premiums on Obamacare policies went up 7%. This year, they're up 25%. In 2016, 2% of enrollees had only one insurer to choose from. Now that's true for 21% of enrollees. You're one of the architects of Obamacare, but would you agree that the program needs substantial changes?
I think it needs reform. It needs bolstering. Even when Hillary Clinton was running for president, she said that there are things we need to do to bolster and to reinforce the exchanges. Exchanges are unstable because healthy people have to be encouraged to buy insurance, and sick people will automatically buy insurance. We need to make them more stable.
And as I understand it, in doing some research for this interview, you are now saying that you think President Trump may be the right person to fix Obamacare.
Well, look, if you go beneath the rhetoric that it's a disaster, you can see 3 important things. First of all, he said he wants repeal and replace, not repeal and delay, the way many Republicans said. So he wants to stabilize it. Second, he's done some material things to stabilize it. He issued regulations last week to stabilize the exchanges and to reassure the insurance companies. And he also, just this week, asked the court to delay a case about the legality of the subsidies so that subsidies could continue. He is stabilizing the marketplace. He doesn't want to disrupt it. And I think he could come to a bipartisan plan to actually repair it. And I think that's the way to go.
Well, let's talk about the bipartisan plan, because as we just pointed out, Obamacare, as people are worried that it's going to be lost, it's become more popular, and we've seen this turnout at particularly Republican town halls with people, I think, legitimately worried what's going to come next. Should Democrats, instead of fighting, obstructing, should they try to work with President Trump to try to arrive at a compromise?
Well, look, if you look at the Ryan proposal, right, it turns out to be very, very bad.
This is House Speaker Ryan.
House Speaker Ryan has made some proposals, and they throw millions of people off insurance and will actually raise premiums and raise costs for most Americans. So if we're going to get to something more reasonable, we can't use the Ryan proposal. The Ryan proposal cannot be the approach. The question is, what's that middle ground? And I think one place we can begin to look at is, the Republicans don't like the mandate. Can we go to something like auto-enrollment in a skinnier package? And that where everyone would get, for basically the value of their subsidy, a skinnier package. Now, Democrats won't like the skinniness of the package. Republicans won't like the fact that everyone gets it. It looks like that could be a compromise.
And you think Democrats, instead of just saying, hell no, should try to work with the president?
Look, if everyone approaches these policy questions in a spirit of compromise, the question is whether people are going to be willing to compromise. It takes 2 to tango. It takes the Republicans to tango and the Democrats to tango. And both have to say yes to do that. I wouldn't put all the onus, Mr. Wallace, on the Democrats. Now
that you're a Fox News contributor, you can call me Chris. Dr. Emanuel, thank you. Straight ahead.